Hi, my name is EDI UDO and I'm an illustrator. Ever since I was a kid, I've always been drawing. I've always been interested in like comic books, superheroes. Drew all the way through high school. When I got to college, I started studying graphic design. I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I just thought, oh, it's something to do with art. But our lecturers there introduced us to like concept art, doing artwork for video games and film. And for the first time in my life, I sort of realized, oh my God, you can get paid money for drawing monsters and like dragons and all that kind of stuff. So that really kind of put me on my path. It just begins with a rough pencil sketch, just in my sketchbook, really small, really rough and loose, just to flesh out my ideas. I find I can brainstorm much better on paper. Then I scan it into my computer, and then with the Wacom graphics tablet, I take it to Photoshop and I paint on top, adding tone, adding color, drawing on top, removing bits, flipping, rotating, and just bringing the idea to life. Or sometimes I don't even do the pencil, I just start straight in Photoshop with my Wacom tablet and do it all digitally. My work tends to have a lot of like animals and monsters and a lot of like female faces and female figures. I'm really interested in like anatomy and mixing human beings, swirling around with animals and stuff like that. Yeah. Oh, and I like drawing skulls. I like drawing and painting a lot of skulls. From the very beginning, 5 years old, my influences were like American comic books. The artists who were drawing Spider-Man and the X-Men, like Jim Lee and Todd McFarlane. I loved Japanese animation from a very young age. My mom would buy me these super violent Japanese cartoons without really knowing what she was giving me, and that really influenced me a lot. As I got older, as a teenager, I was influenced a lot by like heavy metal album artwork, heavy metal posters, psychedelic artwork. As I got a bit older, and a lot of guys who do work in the video game and film industry, so artwork produced for games and comics and movies, that kind of stuff really inspires me. My work is influenced a lot by music. I love like poster artwork, so a lot of like characters and monsters and like Japanese wood prints, Western comic books. Who's my work for? I get hired by a lot of like musicians to do like posters for their concerts, album artwork. I do some logo designs. I do artwork for t-shirts. I do work for like book covers. I'm doing work for a local comic book writer. My work is aimed at just anybody who's a fan of animation, cartoons, comic books, the female form, yeah, that kind of stuff. So, broad audience. It's definitely not people who like abstract art. It's more realistic, I guess. What I love most about what I do is how, you start off with a blank page, there's nothing there, and you have a little inkling of an idea. And so you go to your sketchbook and you start to rough it out. But that's only the first piece of the puzzle. And so by working on it more and more and sketching, doing iterations and adding color and tone, and you sort of play with the idea, and when you bring it to its full realization, it's bigger and stronger than you even imagined yourself. So being surprised by the end result, when I thought, oh, I was gonna start off and just do this little thing, but along the way, the journey took me here and there, and I'm really very happy with what I end up with. Ultimate goals for my career and my art would just be working with bigger and bigger clients. I'd love to do work in like the American comic book industry, particularly covers. Not so much the interiors, but I really like doing covers, dynamic covers. I would love to put out my own art books someday. Products, make clothing with my artwork on, so you can wear it home and out in the town. And yeah, gallery shows and just being a fully sustained freelance illustrator, like doing nothing but that and making my living, and I'd be really happy. My name is EDI UDO, and I'm a raw artist.